welcome to Mathematics Motivation. All right, how you guys doing out there, by the way? Put in the comments, how is life treating you guys? What's new with you? Are you happy? Are you having breakthrough success? Are you living with peace? Are you doing what you love? Are you fulfilled? Well, here's the deal, guys. I want to talk to you about emotional health. How many of you guys have been around somebody that, quite frankly, they're emotionally unhealthy? They're greedy, they have anger issues, they're narcissistic, they're very stubborn, they're driven by their ego, they're hard to talk to, they're very defensive, they hold grudges, they talk bad about other people, they're gossipers. Those people you want to avoid like the plague, my friends, because there's nothing worse than dealing with somebody who's emotionally unhealthy. Now, how do you recognize somebody who's emotionally unhealthy? Well, first of all, people that are emotionally unhealthy, they never admit when they're wrong. They never apologize. You can't have a conversation with them that's reasonable, that's mature. People that are emotionally unhealthy or unapproachable, they are very immature. And listen, in my journey through life, there's been times, thank God, I went through emotional healing because, listen, my heart actually breaks for people that are emotionally unhealthy, because at the root of emotional unhealth are people that really don't love themselves. In my opinion, the scariest thing in the world is to have to deal with people that don't love themselves, because people that are insecure, people that hate themselves, end up doing bad things to other people. You know, there is a biblical principle where Jesus said, love your neighbor as yourself. We're really supposed, how we love ourselves is how we're going to love and treat other people. And more on that in a little bit. Let me get into it, guys. I'm going to give you 5 ways to become emotionally healthy. And when you're emotionally healthy, believe me, your energy gets better, you sleep better, your body becomes more physically healthier, your relationships are stronger, there's more peace in your home and in your business, you attract better people when you're emotionally healthy. When you're emotionally healthy, you have better vibes and feeling and energy. And I just want to give you guys what's worked for me. And no matter where you're at, if you're broken, if you have been rejected by your family or by an ex-spouse, maybe you've gone through, an affair or a betrayal, maybe you've lost your best friend, they turn their back on you, they're sleeping with your wife, maybe your own mother rejected you, your dad won't talk to you, your brother hates you. I don't know what's happened in your life. All I know is life is real. And many of us have had situations where people have hurt us, people have disappointed us, people have broken our hearts, and it's left us feeling wounded. It's left us feeling confused, discouraged. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have family members that I trusted break my trust, and friends that I trusted break my trust. I know what it's like to have to forgive someone that's hurt me deeply, which I just want to share with you guys these 5 things. If you'll do these 5 things, you will become emotionally strong and more healthy. Number 1 is forgive the past. You have to forgive the past. I know it sounds so easy to say on video. Let me walk you through how I did it. I had people that hurt me through my life, family and friends and people that I trusted. It's very easy for me to feel bitter and feel resentful towards these people. I'm talking like deep, deep resent. And quite frankly, bitterness. But I realize, and you guys have probably heard this before, but having bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. Bitterness literally destroys us. And it doesn't mean that the person who hurt us, it doesn't mean that their actions are right. Doesn't mean we should become their best friend. It doesn't mean we even have to like them. But we do have to let go of the past. We have to let go of those stories. And we have to let go of the bitterness and the resentment. And we need to so what worked for me? Well, I decided to make a choice. I chose every single day. I had a list of people that hurt me deep. I cried about it. It really hurt. And what I did is every day I would do forgiveness affirmations, and I would literally speak their name in prayer, and I would forgive them. And I would literally, if their name came up, instead of like saying something negative or my body language, even my facial expression, I would practice being peaceful. I would practice emotionally letting them go. I would practice refusing to say something negative about them. And even in my son and I's life, there's people that's hurt us through business and through our journey that we say, you know what, let's not talk bad about them. Let's wish them well. Let's wish and pray success on them. Let's pray good health on them. Let's pray that they're blessed. Let's not wish that bad things happens to them. That's a sign that you're getting emotionally healthy when you deep inside can forgive people and actually want good things to happen to them. And even though karma and God and revenge and the energy of all of this, when people mistreat you, there is a law of sowing and reaping. You do reap what you sow. What goes around comes around, my friends, and that's just part of it. But you have a compassion that you hope nothing bad happens to people that hurt you. And this is not easy. So what's the magic formula? The power is in the choice. The power is in disconnecting from the negative energy, from the hurt, refusing to dwell on it. Have a deadline where you stop talking about it, and just say, you know what? I'm not going to allow this into my space and into my energy any longer. And that's what worked for me. Okay, the second way that you can become, and by the way, I just want to encourage you guys real quick, because I know some of you really hurt deep by people. For some people, it took time. Time, and God has a way of healing all wounds. And sometimes the wound, even though you make the choice to forgive, the pain will still be there. You just have to give it time. You really have to practice affirmations. I always teach my son, Caleb, deep gratitude can heal anything. The deeper that you go with your gratitude, the better your chance at healing. And so that's what I would do, is just encourage you guys to get into this state of deep, deep gratitude and positivity and refuse to dwell on the bad. Shift your mind, your focus, and your energy on the good, okay? On what's right in your life, the positive things. Okay, number 2, let's go to number 2 now, is to love and accept yourself. I used to struggle with this because I went through something when I was 2 years old. My parents, were not together, and my mom had 3 kids, and she was young. She couldn't take care of all 3 boys, and so she sent me to live away with my dad. And long story, not to get into that, but for a long time, it left the deepest void in my soul. There was a rejection there. There was this feeling of not being good enough. There was this feeling of insecurity that I lived with that, quite frankly, I don't think I ever really healed until my 30s. I lived with this insecurity, and as a result of this, never feeling like I was enough, I attracted more of that into my life. I began to attract, even in my relationships, subconsciously, I would attract women that would hurt me, and reject me, and even, went through some affairs and betrayals or whatever. And it wasn't until I grew up in my personal growth journey and in my own healing that I realized that, if I'm going to be healed, got to learn to love myself and accept myself, and realize that, and that wasn't easy for me. And the moment that I had that transformation where I finally accepted who I was, and that's good, the good and the bad of me, the strengths, we all love when we see our strengths, but see, it's those failures, it's the weaknesses, it's the faults, it's the secrets we don't want anybody to find out about us that leave us feeling unworthy or insignificant. It's feeling like we'll never measure up. It's the failures. But for me, I broke free when I started loving myself And I'm talking about, like, guys, it's the best feeling in the world. Self-love and self-acceptance. And I found myself becoming emotionally strong, mature, being able to deal with pressure and situations and people who are not on that path. You know, water seeks its own level. And sometimes, you know, in this journey, you know, your goal is to only surround yourself with emotionally healthy and emotionally strong people. Love everybody. Be the kindest person in the human being in the world to everybody. But when it comes to your inner circle, like even with my son, I'm very, very careful to only allow emotionally healthy and emotionally stable people in our inner circle. And sometimes that's just trial and error, my friends. That's just something you've got to learn. You've got to test. You've got to, and you know, the only way you're going to know that is through pressure and through situations. So you got to always have your eyes open and just watch. People will, like Oprah says, you know, when people show you who they are, believe them, you know? So that's how I do it. You know, number 3 is, the third way to emotional health is to be optimistic. Be one of those people that has an optimism and a positivity about yourself. Now, literally, you got to stop the negative self-talk. You got to stop all the negative thinking. You got to stop dwelling on your problems. And you've got to be optimistic and positive about yourself. And then you got to learn to start being optimistic and positive about others. My life changed when I made the commitment to find the gold in everybody, to speak well of people, to stop picking out people's flaws or shortcomings, to be secure within myself that it was okay if somebody was better than me. It was okay if somebody was wiser than I was, or had a bigger boat, or more money, or more views on YouTube, or, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I started becoming positive and optimistic about people. And I noticed myself becoming emotionally healthy and emotionally strong in this process. And then, of course, about life. You know, guys, life is good. It's all about your attitude. It's all about your perspective. And when you see yourself and you see others and you see life, listen, I've got problems. I've had people disappoint me. I've had tough situations to deal with in life. But it's what you choose to dwell on. For me, I honestly feel like the luckiest, most blessed human being alive. And that's including all my problems, all the people that's hurt me, all the pressures of life. Why? Because I'm here. I'm living life. I'm in the game, my friends. I'm doing what I love. And most importantly, I have a healthy son. And our relationship is the greatest relationship in the world. The trust that's there, the bond that's there, the memories that we're able to make. I'm the luckiest human being in the world for that. So that positive, optimistic outlook helps me to become emotionally healthy, okay? Number 4 is, you can tell I'm getting a little emotional through this teaching here. Number 4 is to master your reactions. Yes, you've got to work on this. I didn't realize how much of a defensive person I used to be. Like I feel bad for all my friends and family that had to deal with the defensive mathematics. A lot of that was because of insecurity, because I didn't love myself, because I wasn't confident, because I wasn't emotionally healthy. I had bitterness and resentment. But when I got all that out of my life, my friends, I started to be able to say, hey, you know what? I want feedback. And I promise you I won't get defensive. I want you to tell me the truth. I started to be able to handle constructive criticism. I started to be able to handle the truth tellers in my life. I started to be able to not have to have everyone to like me, not have to please everybody. See, when you are a people pleaser and you have to have everyone's approval and you have to have everyone to like you, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough and challenging for you to be emotionally healthy as you're trying to be a people person. And I know you're probably sitting there thinking, what's that got to do with mastering your reactions? Well, it all starts with you not being defensive. And at the core of being defensive is because you feel insecure and you don't feel enough and you don't feel in control of your emotions. And when you get in control of your emotions and you become whole within yourself and you love yourself, then the people pleasing goes away. And when you cease to become a people pleaser, that puts you into a state and into a place of emotional strength. Okay, emotional health. And then the other thing when it comes to mastering your reactions is not taking things personal. You know, I've learned that. I've learned, like, you know what? It's not about me. Even the people that hurt me, it's not about me. Even the people that talk bad about me and lie and gossip or whatever, it's not about me. You know, it's because they feel insecure. It's because of their own issues. It's because of their jealousy. It's not about me. You know, I don't have to take it personal. You know, and there's a freedom, there is a power, there is a flow that comes into your life when you don't take things personal. When you have the ability to look at people and feel sorry for them, even though they just absolutely trashed your name, said something bad about you, did whatever, you feel sorry for them. You don't take it personal. You know, guys, there's a freedom when you live that way. Okay. Last but not least, here's another, and there's more, but I can't give it to you. Look, I'm already 16 minutes in. But the fifth way to emotional health is to let go of your ego. This was huge for me because of insecurity and pride, and I'm a dude, and I'm a type A. I had this huge ego. My ego was the size of the moon. Now, you know, some would say that having an ego, you know, even though it's destructive and it's bad, it can help you become successful. You know, I have a different view on that. You know, I think we can become successful and be humble. And it was tough for me because I naturally do have confidence. You know what I'm saying? It was tough for me because while I was being confident, I didn't realize the people that I was hurting, you know, because of my ego. Let me just confess something to you guys on my journey. What happened to me and how I got through it was, you know, because I had success, quite frankly, you know, when you're always looking at return on investment as a businessman and you deal with people that aren't producers and, you know, they're negative or whatever it might be, what happens in the process of you trying to like protect your energy, manage your time, get things done, you know, take a look at return on investment. Sometimes you can forget the average normal people. You know, you got to be careful who you hang with. And the reason why I'm even saying all this is because I didn't realize till I did deep evaluation, went deep with my son and my inner circle. It just came to me that, you know what? I had forgotten to take time each day for the little person. And I don't mean little in a degrading way. I really don't. You guys know what I mean. I'm talking about by definition of the stupid standards that society puts on all of us. Meaning the people that maybe they haven't arrived, or maybe that they're not paying me, or whatever it may be. And really just honestly like staying humble to never forget where you came from and to not look at everything like a dollar sign. You know, I gotta be focused because I gotta make sales. I can use this hour and I can make X amount of money. And you know what? Yes, that's right. But there's gotta be a buffer to that where you also say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take this hour and I'm gonna listen to this person, even if they never pay me, even if, you know, I could have, you know, I was actually on a call the other day with a client who was paying a lower level fee, who was a lead, and a client that was paying a really high fee called. I was so tempted at that moment to like tell the person that was paying the lower fee, hey, let me call you back, I gotta get this call. But I didn't do it. Be proud of me. I beat my ego that day. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this person my best too, just because they're paying the lower level doesn't mean that I'm gonna put them off and take the person that's paying the higher level. You know what I mean? That wasn't easy. okay, from the business side. But then that's what I'm talking about, of you letting go your ego and believing that your values, your passion, your principles, and God, and doing the right thing, integrity and ethics, you're going to get paid. You're going to get yours. There's an energy to this. And then last but not least is tied to this, number 5, is always treat people right. In every situation, try to come out the winner of doing people right. And you do that, my friends, and you know what? These 5 things I just gave you, you're going to find yourself becoming a more emotionally healthy person. So here's what I want you guys to do. You like this video, you stayed here the whole time. I appreciate that. I know your time is valuable. You know what? Share this with somebody. It's not about me. It's because I want this content to help somebody else. And you'll feel good when you do that. Share it on your Facebook or text the link to somebody. And I would really appreciate that. Tell me in the comments what you got out of this. And then last but not least, my friends, I do this at the end of almost every single video. Look, if any of you guys want to work with me one-on-one, there's a link in the description. Just click it. It's a short little form you fill out. If we're a fit, I would be honored to serve you and work with you. If not, I still want to serve you and work with you in another capacity. Maybe it's right here only on this YouTube video. But listen, if you'd have the absolute biggest breakthrough of your life, go with me one-on-one and you will get results. I love you guys. It's very, very grateful you took time to watch this video. Now listen, go be emotionally healthy.